All right. And we should be live and good to go. Alrighty, guys. Welcome back to MTV I'm your guys' host, Trent Manager. Welcome back, all my returning patrons, all my new viewers, and of course, all my new patrons. Welcome back. Really glad to have you guys here. Thanks so much for chiming in today on this Tuesday. We are wrapping up the month of July. Woke up today. I cannot believe it was already the 27th, for being real. You know, August literally swooped in on us pretty quick. But definitely, guys, let's not waste any time and let's just really hop into it today. So first off, let's get some housekeeping out of the way. Like usual, all the Patreon members, please make sure you guys are checking up on the updates. I posted 2 charts yesterday, going over some liquidations and kind of some other derivatives information, along with we went over a nice little chart here for the dollar system and kind of how your currency is backed. Kind of a more in-depth kind of image in play for all my visual learners. I know this is super helpful for those who really like to see images and arrows and, you know, just make it easier for, you know, you guys to learn. I'm a visual learner too, so I definitely understand. And I believe also posted the crypto job list on the 22nd. So of course, I got really good reviews back on that crypto job list video that we did of, you know, how you get break in through the space in terms of, you know, being a market strategist or, you know, being a multimedia specialist, you know, for any sort of these crypto jobs. It does not have to be strictly developer jobs. So if you did not watch that video, I'd highly recommend to go back and watch that. Should be just under my YouTube channel in the first row. And awesome, guys, believe that is it for the housekeeping. Anything else I'm forgetting? Nope, I think I am good. Alrighty, guys, first off, let's hop into our crypto fear, greed, and index. Let's see exactly how we are feeling. Much better than what we used to be. So, you know, now we're at 32% fear, yesterday 26, last week 19, ooh, that's pretty low, and last month 22. So, I mean, wow. I mean, it's been a crazy emotional roller coaster. So, you know, I definitely see this exactly where it needs to be. So I always like to cover the fear and greed index. I always think it's funny. And by the way, I got some questions about how this is calculated. It's calculated off fear analogy. So like when people are like tweeting or posting about BTC or anything crypto related, or specifically Bitcoin, it will algorize those like words of choice into a selective terms of neutral or like emotional base, you know. So like, you know, people use certain words when they're certain emotional. So that's how they kind of cater it out, if that made sense. Hope that made sense, guys. Thank you. Awesome, guys. So first off, in our first one, this actually did not end up being true. I had we didn't talk about it at all, but I had seen the job post. We had covered it on the video. We had went through the job application for that for this job, but we did not say that Bitcoin was actually going to be accepting cryptocurrency. My idea behind it when we read the position, of course, when we went through the LinkedIn and what the requirements were, and they weren't crazy requirements, it just seemed like they needed a developer team or someone first off to be the lead to then kind of pave the way in terms of, hey, you understand blockchain, you understand cryptography, you understand how blockchain can be integrated. We already know Amazon's AWS services, Amazon Web Services have been absolutely dominant in terms of keeping web applications up to date and, you know, keeping things, you know, running smoothly in terms of their client base of how, you know, whatever their client servers are running. But really coming back to the cryptocurrency plan, I don't know where the term of them accepting BTC came in. I didn't get that indication. That must have been like a rumor behind that, because I don't think we did not talk about them accepting it. But of course, when you have a blockchain developer being hired at your job and, you know, you have these requirements, eventually that will come. So at the time, this was about 50% true, I guess 40% true, because they're not going to be accepting Bitcoin anytime soon. But the fact that they have openings for blockchain developers and other people in the crypto space shows that they will eventually, that will become the truth sooner or later. So it may not be this year or next year, but just know that these big guys are currently working on this technology integration on a daily basis. And we did cover that kind of job interview posting on our crypto jobs video. So if you want to go watch that kind of further, you're going to go watch that video also. That was not our regular debriefing of what we talked about. That's a whole other video in terms of more breakthrough passive income and more job applications you can do. But still a great read. You know, we knew Amazon breaking in is going to be a big player. The article kind of just goes through all the, you know, the different lingo and FUD of how, you know, it kind of came to be, but they will not be accepting Bitcoin anytime soon. That's okay. The most important part is that they have a job listing on there and that is something they're actively pursuing. So I'm not mad about it. I'm completely cool with it. So, and also moving forward, guys, to chatting with NVIDIA CEO Huang Renxun. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad with, my goodness, I'm so sorry if I botched that, guys. Jeez. But NVIDIA CEO, I'm a big holder in NVIDIA stock. I'm NVIDIA GPU in my computer. That's what's powering this live stream. I'm a big fan. I love NVIDIA's whole Metaverse talk, their integration for their chips, their GPUs, of course, absolutely outstanding. Their technology, everything they implement into the tech world, absolutely just kind of demolishes everything else. I'm a big believer in AMD too. I do own AMD stock as well. I believe AMD is kind of just the little brother of NVIDIA. AMD has some great products. I have had some AMD products that have not performed as well in NVIDIA world, but still very well. That is still something I would buy if it really came back to it, no doubt. But really going over how the CEO here is kind of incorporating the metaverse. We talked about this a couple weeks ago as well. Kind of what the metaverse is. So just like we talked about with being in a Zoom call, so let's say you want to meet up with your friends, you want to do an online concert. That was very big with the pandemic, and the pandemic really showed us what is needed from each other as humans in terms of when we cannot be together. So when we get into the metaverse, in terms of having a Zoom call, going to a concert, doing anything in the virtual world, you can really start to imagine what it's like to, instead of me having face-to-face with you, so imagine, I'm giving you this live stream, right? But you can walk around with me in terms of, either sitting behind my desk, or maybe like I'm doing in like a studio classroom where the oyster layout where, your students are backed up in rows and rows and rows, and, like that. So I'm teaching, and like maybe I could walk around, it really is crazy what the possibilities are. And I'm going to have an in-depth video coming out separately on that about what really the hard possibilities are. I don't know if you guys have seen like the Windows Google Lens glasses, the way that they're doing holographic, engineering team works. So you put on your glasses and you got your teammates on your side, and you can see everybody that's in the call. You're all kind of virtually hologram, but you're all working in the same place, even if you're not in the same place. It truly is amazing, guys, like to where we're stepping right now. But really where the CEO steps in for NVIDIA is that now they are not only the largest producer in terms of graphics cards and other high-tech production. For those who don't know how big NVIDIA is in terms of what they power, like your Tesla battery, or I'm sorry, not your Tesla battery, your Tesla screen implementation for your graphics, your graphics cards, majority of them, not only are they limited graphics cards, your TV chips. I know TSMC kind of steps in there a lot, but their NVIDIA plays a huge role in terms of some major tech, especially AI. So when I really come to say with the metaverse and how this is going to continue to take over and keep us moving, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's more of an integration of, as you can see now, this is more Blender activity, but a higher integration of being together when we're not together. It is really the best way I could put it, in a more virtual world of basically escaping a world you already are in now, but basically going to a cyber world. It really is something, guys. I'm just really excited about it. So it's like, maybe it's not coming off exactly how it is, but hopefully it is. And we're going to have a really in-depth video on that, kind of what the possibilities are moving forward, because they are closer than we think they are, and that is just the truth. And real quick clip, I wanted to watch a little Jordan Belfort. I know you guys love The Wolf of Wall Street. I do too. It's a hilarious movie, and not the best guy. Definitely didn't do things good in his lifetime. There were things he did not do that were good for people, for himself and other people, but he did screw a lot of people over. But hey, he shaped it up, and he's doing what he needs to do. He's moving good now, and he's trying to make a better name for himself. So I can't be mad. I think everyone deserves second chances. So I'm not perfect either. So let's get this quick clip of Jordan Belfort, kind of what he says about this was a little bit later. This was 20 seconds, so it's a little bit old, not really too old, but I like what he has to say. It's very like nothing technical, but he says his beliefs. He believes in blockchain technology and the projects, and he's a big speaker. People really trust Jordan Belfort for what his advice is, and I mean, hey, that's completely fine. And I guess I kind of trust him too, but I guess that's a little different now that we trust him. So let's watch this quick clip, guys, and then we'll move on. They took 10%, so Tesla took 10%. Elon did not take 10%, though. Tesla's balance sheet, though, took 10%, and that's fine. Everyone needs to take profits, so. Good man.
Because
Good man.
needs a hedge. If it really runs away, I want to at least have some. But I wouldn't put in more than I can afford to lose. And I think the distinction here is there's two types of crypto. There's really good, investments. There's a lot of what we call SHIT coins out there.
I know he spells it out.
And that's what needs to be really, really
I think your fine is pretty fat on live TV, especially for cussing. I think you get a pretty fat fine.
It's been pretty flat, pretty static for Bitcoin, around 30, 31, 32. It's right at that level. It's been there for, I think, a couple of months. From a technical point of view, you guys who own it, you wouldn't want to see it drop down below 30,000 again and stay there, because that would be a very bad technical sign.
I would too. Well, I'm right with him. I would too.
I hope it drops down lower, because I would buy more if it drops down lower. See, I would love it to go lower, because I'm a long-term investor, so I don't really care if it goes up or down in the short term. I would love it to go back to 5,000 and buy a ton of it there, and that would be a great thing. So I'm not looking to short-term trader. I think people that are trading Bitcoin for the short term, it's very dangerous. It's very volatile. You don't really, anyone that says they know where it's going next is lying. No one knows where it's going next. It's susceptible to things like statements from Elon Musk, things that happen in China, other parts of the world. Still amazing market until it really finds the footing. And I think.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I'll cut it up there. But no, he's right. I mean, everything he says is pretty correct. Yeah, everything he says is correct. I'm glad he holds, and I'm glad people understand or getting more education. We know this is a baby market. We know our liquidity is not as stable and as high as real estate, bonds, etc. But of course, as you get to that liquidity mark, of course, you will start to have that stability, and we continue to move on. So absolutely, I wanted to show this real quick because it's fun. It's easy. Sometimes we're always super serious on here, and we go through hard technical stuff, and it's good to get a brain break. So awesome, guys. So cool. I posted on the Patreon also. We'll go through this real quick. This was over the BTC liquidations that we had. This was yesterday or 2 days ago that we had. So if you guys did not notice or look at price action, we actually did have a very, very solid pump to we touched $40,000. We were out there for about 5 minutes, and then we got a very, very sharp rejection, which was expected. That's very much expected. We got to turn a lot of levels of resistance, turn a lot of levels which were once support, back into resistance, now turning those back into hard support. And if you guys remember, not too long ago, we did cover our TA video, which we will go into charts today before we get off, about how those support lines were not indefinite and how we kind of moved up too quick in our first phase to truly kind of have those levels as hard support. Even though when we did break 40K, we did fall pretty quickly, because I guess it was a pretty hard support, but 30K is much harder support than 40K, if that makes sense. So you can see that we had about 757 million shorts liquidated on the 25th. That's ridiculous. And we also are going to go over some regulatory crackdowns that has been, oh my gosh, I remember this day. You guys remember this? 5/18 when we had 3.1 billion in longs liquidated. Oh my gosh, that's insane. So for those who may not know, I posted this in the Patreon. This is kind of only on Patreons. For those who do not understand liquidations, think about it like this. So when you are playing options, you are basically somewhat gambling. You are taking the guess that that BTC or whatever stock is going to be this price by this date, and if it passes that price by that date and it continues to goes up, you start making more money. But if you fall so far out of the money, so let's say you have a strike at $40,000 and BTC falls to about 25, and you had that for, let's say your expiration date is 7/27, let's say it's the end of the month of August, you would be liquidated. And that's just the short-term version, because you have fallen so far out of the money in terms of your position that there's no way that you could possibly hop back in or have enough percent changes to get back to where you were in that matter of time. So therefore, you can cut your losses in terms of, depending how you have your stop loss and so on, for my traders out there. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, all my traders out there. I'm not a trader, but this is just what I know off the facts. And you can cut your losses, or of course, your entire position will get liquidated depending how bad the drop is, or the percentage decrease. So yeah, definitely watch out for trading, guys. And some regulatory input has been implemented into Binance and some other trading platforms to where there is no longer 100x leverage. I think the max is like 20 now, so that's pretty crazy to think about as well. So we're seeing some regulatory crackdowns, and good and bad. Regulatory is not always bad. Just always remember that. regulatory is not always a bad thing. So, and I also wanted to go over Cardano for the web mobile integration and some key takeaways from Mr. Charles Hoskin. We don't talk too much about Cardano on here at all, and I'm not sure why. I just don't. I think we cover more news based and technical based. Like we're just here. I teach you guys coding and passive income ways, and I like the news because the news keeps you up to date in terms of like really what's going on. And I know some people don't like covering the news, the fact like it doesn't matter, but it really does. It really does. This is how this is how you're able to front run a lot of stuff. You can take the educated gamble, and the news is just more the doorway. So just like when we talked about the metaverse, you could be like, oh crap, I like that. I'm gonna go research that. Next thing you know, you enjoy the metaverse so much that you now are engaged in it, and maybe you run a community in the metaverse, and now you have a store there, and now you're getting paid to be in the metaverse. It's like stuff like that. That's really as simple as that. So I don't know why I brought that up, but that's definitely something I wanted to bring up in terms of why we do this. That was completely random, but thank you guys. But getting back to the smart contract integration of smart contracts for Cardano, Cardano has been on the radar for a while now in terms of their integration for helping countries in need. Africa's big integration in terms of Cardano's integration for learning and getting things up to speed, infrastructure over there, and integrating smart contracts. I don't know when I say this in terms of if I do believe Cardano will play a huge role in terms of challenging Ethereum. We knew that Charles and Vitalik were both on the same team in terms of when Ethereum first launched. They were both younger. A lot of those guys who were on the Ethereum original team dispersed and made their own projects. But in terms of where this comes from, this is more important for my developers and work side, for my dev people. But my biggest implementation of this is Plutis and how this is going to be compatible with JavaScript. So Plutis is officially compatible with JavaScript in terms of you can now integrate smart contracts and other the platform Plutis, which is the testnet for Cardano for testing smart contracts, and the whole IDE system now is compatible with JavaScript, therefore making it you can start integrating that with JavaScript. So that is huge in terms of a lot of things. So JavaScript is by far the most important encoding language that we I think have, behind I believe Python and a couple others. So JavaScript, everything you see on your web, design features, UI, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, anything along where you are seeing something pretty just like this website is compatible by JavaScript. So if you've done like the small little thing where you do like the I think it's like the F12 or something in the corner, and like you can start changing, how your website looks. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you like go up here. I just don't know the shortcut for it right now, but click it and then you can start editing. So that's exactly what JavaScript is. And the compatibility with this is very, very, very important, as that is the most popular coding language in the world, and I believe by far our most important. So we'll keep on this. I do own some Cardano, very transparent with you guys. I'll tell you guys what I own and what I don't own. I have been accumulating Cardano for quite a while, and I believe this is a long-term project that will change lives and continue to change our infrastructure, just like Ethereum will. And I believe there will be a time also to where Cardano developers will start taking share of us Ethereum developers and overall blockchain. You will start seeing developers catering more towards Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano. There will be a bunch of different, we'll all be developers, but there will be a very wide selection of what you do as a developer, like there already is, which is pretty crazy. So we're basically just adding tree branches to the olive branch, which is pretty cool. So awesome. Plutis, this was kind of going over Cardano already. This is the Plutis core chain for testing and kind of getting everything laid out in terms of testnet, and when everything's all good to go, you can start deploying from here. But I have not hopped into Plutis just yet. That might be something we will actually get into here as we continue our Ethereum trailers, or I'm sorry, not our Ethereum trailers, our Ethereum tutorials and so on. Once I get more familiar with Plutis and how it works and how it goes and how it functions, I'm going to play around with that. That's something I need to do for work as well, and kind of do a report on, actually have an analysis report due next week on something like this. But this is going to be very, very important, as we could front run the curve. So if there's opportunities in terms of more passive income or anything that we could do to maximize our knowledge and our overall understanding of this, we will do it. So I'll keep you guys up to date on that. But very, very interesting if you guys want to continue to research that. So I more power to you, because I will be doing the same. So also hopping over to Twitter real quick, we're gonna hop over to Lark Davis and regulators for crypto. I love Lark Davis. He's always got like some really good Twitter rants. Kind of just you go in and you can kind of just go through. He's got these whole threads of just all these stories and other things in terms of crypto regulations, anything topic related. I've been following Lark for a long time, and by far he's one of my favorites on the top of the list. He lives in New Zealand, so I think his time difference is a little bit different, but he gets it out in the perfect time for us in the States. So both Binance and FTX have reduced their leverage from max 125 to 100 to just 20x. So that all that means is that you just 20x, so you only have $100. 20x that, you now have that amount of money. But of course, if you lose that money, you need to repay that money, and basically just a front loan when you're trading in terms of leverage. So for those who didn't know that as well, 100x leverage is rocket fuel mixed with vodka for traders. Most professional traders go nowhere near 100x in a product for retail traders and gamblers. That's very true. Anyone who's above like 25x, like, you are just more power to you. Like, I just don't like crypto is already as crazy as it is. Like, you adding the leverage on top of that, like, you're insane. Like, I do what you need to do, of course, but I do not trade for the reason of it is too stressful. I just don't have the time to worry about if I just got liquidated $25,000 or I just lost my job. I just can't do that. So I just don't. But of course, you guys who are out there, of course, do your thing. Anyone who really is a trader who watches this, please, like, let me know how things are going for you, because I have no idea what goes on in trading land. But France a few days ago calls for EU-wide regulation for the body of crypto. We're seeing some little small crackdowns. I know CoinGecko, Voyager, and Coinbase had a little bit of kind of a sweep over. I know there will be a lot of coins being delisted in terms of CoinGecko and other things for projects that do not hold a hard stance in value. So the ICO craze is going to definitely be a crackdown. We saw that coming, and we knew that would be coming as we kind of got regulators and everyone on the same page. They understand that a lot of these projects with no upcoming regulation, no white paper, no use value that can make it on the live net in terms of ICO, and then of course be funded to make money, are coming to an end. That's not saying all ICOs will be going away, but in terms of what it's going to take to register for an ICO, it's going to be much more strict than what it used to be. You cannot just make code one from a developer and just put it on the blockchain and just have it go wild and get your funding. That's just not how it's going to go here pretty soon. So those days will be missed. And also the big story rocking DeFi is that Uniswap's front end is not the protocol, has delisted synthetics tokens and stock tokens. This follows Binance delisting tokens last week. Message is very clear: stay away from securities. That is also very true. We didn't really cover those too much, but we had talked about tokenized stocks being integrated into crypto exchanges in terms of just buying tokenized stocks. So the same thing, your one Tesla coin would be equivalent to one Tesla coin or one Tesla stock, etc. I believe the reason for that is something like this. So when you get stock in terms of just buying it, you are paid out in dividends. So you're paid out in cash for your dividends. But the crazy thing is you're paid out in dividends, but you're not paid out in more Tesla stock. If that actually, wait, hold on. So sorry guys, let me take that back. So you have your stock, Tesla, let's say that for example, you get your dividends. So Tesla's got a very, very low dividends. So that's nothing too crazy. So when that is paid back to you, that of course is in money, that's in US currency, but it's not in Tesla stock. So unlike when you stake on cryptocurrency like ADA, Cosmos coin, Ethereum, you are paid out in more Ethereum or Cardano. But with an interest and compound rolling effects, you're paid out in cash with stocks. So it's not like you're getting more of that stock. The dividends, yes, but not every company pays dividends. So that was the big setback problem between, the crypto volumes in terms of staking and passive income, and also stock, just basic stocks in terms of your payouts and your more passive income. So merging those together or moving those over to the tokenized way, you can now stake your Tesla in the tokenized version of the stock and then receive more Tesla stock. It was a great idea, of course, but there's of course more regulation that needs to go down with that, and that's not something that is easy to be flipped over. But if that does become something one day, I think that'd be awesome, because that's super dope. That is super cool. I cannot imagine me staking my Tesla and then getting more Tesla, like me getting half a share of Tesla like every 6 months or something. That'd be crazy. That'd be awesome. So awesome, and we got more articles. He goes on a whole crazy rant for cracking down. We knew BlockFi kind of had their little wave over, but we're just seeing some crackdown in terms of people just skimming over, making sure people are playing by the rules and doing what they're supposed to do. Like I said, this is not something. He even says this here. Should you be worried? LMAO, no. Lower leverage is good. EU body is neutral for now. Uniswap stories is still in protocol. Big deal for front end. BlockFi will be fine and sorted out. Stable coins like USDC will dominate due to complicated, etc. So I think we were just okay. We knew this is what we wanted, or this is what was going to happen when the big boy stepped in, and that's just something that we just have to deal with, and we will get around it just like we always do. We've been in way worse waters, I'll tell you that. So awesome. And also to wrap this up, guys, we're going to wrap up on the TA chart. So let's take a look at where we are. We've kept our exact same chart the same, and things have been on the up and up a little bit. So we did see our little boost here that we had from our bottom wick from July 20th to about 7. So we're about up now. We touched our wick about let's see, about $40,000, which is pretty cool. So we're about up 35% from where we were on July 20th to the 8th, so about a little over 1 week. And where I see us from now is this will be a slow steps there up. Maybe we may see some breakdown a little bit, something maybe something like this. I'm very, very conservative. We got nothing but time. Could see a little test down like this and maybe like this, and maybe we could break up this and turn this into resistance, and then maybe get a little jiggle jaggle here, and then continue doing our thing. We got nothing but time. That's really it. But technicals good. It's good to see us above, or it's good. It was good to see us touch 40K, test that once again. Even back here, we had that failed support level that we tried to turn into support. Failed support level, or failed test to turn that into support, and also now another one of failed rejection at the 40K line. So just like we say, guys, the harder we jump on drywall, harder we punch the wall up, is the easier it loosens, and the better we're going to have to break through that. And then when we do get through that, this yellow line can turn into solid support, and then from there we can continue to move forward and continue breaking these bands. But you can see just quickly how fast the sentiment changed. You can see here just from one day. Like, let's just take this over to just the 1 day candle we had the other day. Like, this is crazy. Like, I don't know if you guys saw it, if you guys were paying attention over, the weekend, but that's just 15% in 1 day. Like, that's not something to roll out of bed for in crypto land, but that's pretty crazy. Like, that's pretty nuts. Where in the world are you getting 15% else in 1 day? Like, nowhere. You're not. So, that's really it in crypto land. We love it here. That's why we're here. It really is something, guys. But other than that, guys, I think that was pretty much it for today. Actually, this was also really funny. This was a side note. This was something small. Goldman Sachs new DeFi ETF has nothing to do with DeFi at all. This is their listings inside their ETF. And I know you guys know what ETFs are, but I'm sorry, I need to say this for all the new people. Anyone who doesn't know what an ETF is, it is a basket of stocks or an array of companies inside the Easter basket. So if you do not know what to buy in terms of individual stocks, you could go with the ETF, which has like this 20, 15, 10, 50 plus stocks all inside one traded fund, and then you buy that ETF, and therefore you're getting exposure to all of these companies in here. But getting back to Goldman Sachs DeFi fund, DeFi ETF, this is their DeFi ETF. This is their holdings right now. So if you were to go and look and say, hey, I want to go buy Goldman Sachs ETF, this is what we are going to, this is what you're buying. Nokia, Facebook, Alphabet, Cisco, Microsoft, MasterCard, PayPal, okay, I guess, Intel, Sony, Overstock, Alibaba, I don't even know what that is. That's Alibaba, I'm sorry. Lenovo, Tencent, OneConnect. These have nothing to do with DeFi at all. Like, I was expecting when I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, like they have Uniswap, they have Chainlink, they probably have Aave in here. They got Compound, they got MakerDAO, they got Curve, they got all these crazy good protocols, I bet. Like, oh my gosh, like they're really doing it. And then we get to here, then we get this. Like, what? Like, dude, to be fair, some of these companies have already had their exposure to cryptocurrency and continue to work in that direction and are working pretty hard. So PayPal, for example, MasterCard, Alphabet, I heard somewhat about that. We know Alibaba by far has not said anything, but they have been doing something. I know they have. There's no way they're not. In a couple of these, Lenovo, being a tech company, I would imagine sooner or later, yes. Microsoft, yes. So it's not all about Visa, yes, but it's not. These aren't actual crypto holding companies, nor are they actual crypto projects. So that's what drove me crazy, is the fact that they're saying this is DeFi and it's not DeFi. These are just companies that are exposed to DeFi in a very small manner and projects, and they're not even full DeFi. Like, some of these projects don't even have DeFi on their balance sheet. Like PayPal, yes, they have Ethereum, Bitcoin. I guess if you want to have Ethereum, you're essentially long on DeFi. Sure, if you want to do that. Oh man, I hate when I use my words against me sometimes, but yeah, man, that's that. But I thought it was super funny. I'm gonna post this on the Patreon and I'm gonna post this on Instagram too. That's so funny. But other than that, guys, we're done here. We kept it under 30 minutes, which is exactly what I wanted to do. Thank you guys so much for chiming in today. Any questions, concerns, please drop comments below. Like, comment, share with friends or family. Anything you may share this with anyone you may think needs this. And of course, Patreon is always open for new members. And thank you guys so much for spending your Tuesday today. I will see you guys on Thursday. Also remember our Chapter 3 tutorial for coding, learning Solidity, error handling, and not inheritance, error handling and I don't remember what else we covered in there. But that tutorial is up now, so you guys are all good to go. And thank you guys so much. I will see you guys on Thursday. Bye bye.